All right, I mean, much blessings. Thank you all for being here, for being present, as always. Y'all know I love to express my gratitude. Y'all know it. Gratitude is my everyday attitude. So, what must I know with consumer law? Well, let's hop into it. All right, so what we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and show you guys our AI debt terminator. We were just going live as well, talking about AI and how this is going to help you guys. But what must one know? So I said, what must one know with consumer law to help the removal of debts off a consumer report? To use it effectively with the removal of debts from your credit report, you must apply a precise, structured process rooted in federal law. So, what that means is we must understand Title 15, Chapter 41. So, we must go through the big three. How many of you guys here, drop in the comments, billions, if you know the big three off the top of your head? Who are the big three? All right, not LeBron, not Chris Bosh, not Dwayne Wade. Oh, we got another big three. These three are actually bringing in more money than all three of them individually combined. Each one of these companies. So our process, so it says especially the FCRA and FDCPA, backed by real case law and administrative remedies. So within each one of the processes, there is remedies. So it's not just the deletion that we're looking to get. We're also looking to get paid for these accounts being on our consumer reports as well too. So step number one is to simply identify the reports. What are the violations on one's credit report? We gotta, identify them. Is there inaccurate balances? Is there re-aged or duplicate debts? Is the account not marked as disputed? Is it missing the original creditor's information? If any of these, I want you guys all to look into 15 USC 1681G A1 and 1681 S2 A1A. This is to demand accurate reporting from the furnishers and to request it as well. Because if there's a repossession or a charge off that has the wrong balance, you guys can utilize this as well as a case law study that goes by Collins versus Experian. What case law studies would you guys love to see more on? Repossessions, evictions, charge offs, collections. What would you guys love to see more case law studies on? Because I could pull up about 5 different case law studies for each one of those specific violations. Step number 2 is to send a customized demand validation letter. Use of the FDCPA 1692G. Yesterday we were talking about this on our mentorship call, and I actually opened this call up to the public as well for anybody else that did want to join. And we had broken down and gone through the FDCPA. Well, within the FDCPA, there's a whole consumer law code, Title 15 USC 692G, that allows us to go out and request a validation. And there's certain steps that they must abide by to properly validate a debt. And then one must submit step number 3, a factual dispute. This is AKA our notice of dispute. Step number 4 is to notify the CFPB and or Attorney General. Step number 5, default the opportunity to cure. So this is a pre-arbitration, and this is about 15 to 30 days after the adequate verification and the notice of dispute. Step 6 is to apply for some accounts, get denied. Step 7, enforce arbitration. And the biggest thing above all else is really taking action. Doing step 1, pulling your reports. How many of you guys have done step number 1? I want you to write number 1. 1 and a check mark. How many of you guys have sent off a customized debt validation letter? drop a 2 in the chat box if you've done that. And how many of you guys have dropped a notice of dispute? I want you to write threes. 3 with an S if you've done all 3. Whether you guys are here live or whether you guys are watching the replay, doesn't really matter to me. I appreciate both though. And the biggest thing is, that we just all take action. Some other things though, just going off the top, this was just strictly from our AI debt terminator. Let me go ahead and show you guys it. So, what must one know with consumer law to help the removal of debts off consumer report? And they gave us our administrative process. So if you know and understand the process of what to do and where to send out these letters, it's really a matter of just doing it, and utilizing this AI to help you draft up a letter. Scan your credit reports. Once you scan them, it'll go through and review what's inaccurate on those, and then ultimately it'll draft up a notice of dispute. Within there, you can request debt validation or cease and desist. Right, that's 15 USC 1692 CC. Well, I can request it and use debt validation within my notice of dispute. Also, while I do put them on notice, I am letting it be known that they also are, reporting inaccurate information, etc. Now I'm waiting for that response, and throughout that time, I could send a CFPB complaint with another cease and desist. I could send it with 1681 S2, inaccurate information of reporting, etc. So as long as you know the steps as to what to do within our process, you guys will know exactly what to do. So that's everything. That's one thing. I gave y'all more than one thing as to what must be known when it comes to consumer law. So know the process, know the administrative process, and you guys will be more than taken care of. Other than that, family, that's all that I have for you guys. And I believe that this video will be very helpful. Utilize it, leverage it, go back, watch replay. Utilize this AI if you're not already. All right, it's called the AI Debt Terminator. Yes, it is on ChatGPT, but the only way you guys can get it is if one has access to the link. And in order to get access to the link, you guys must be a part of our mentorship. Right now, though, let me go ahead and show you guys this. What we do have 50% off running on both our university and our mentorship. So let me show you guys what the university and the mentorship do both entail for those that are newer here and have never seen any of my content, seen nor hardly know of any of our teachings. So I'm going to give you guys some insight into our teachings, because consumer law was really the foundation towards what we had built, and now we're really just beyond it, and just making sure that everybody's getting the information. And that's why we dropped the university that we did, so it's always there. Everybody has access to it. People are going to try to retwist my teachings and go out and teach you something, but at the end of the day, all of our teachings are out there. So we've got, typically it's $97. It is on sale for $47. Typically this is $5,000. Right now it's on sale for $2,500. And you guys can see what both come with. The biggest thing for both is just the community, honestly. But you guys will get the step-by-step deletions, 4Counts, templates. With this as well, the mentorship, you do get lifetime access to where you'll never have to pay a monthly fee of such. But in the meantime, if you do just have the university, you will be paying a monthly tuition to stay active within the university. But you guys can see here, these are the two things that does come with our mentorship and our university, both on sale for 50% off. So if you guys do want access, simply just reach out to me at 305-575-2843. But that's honestly all that I have for you guys today. Y'all stay blessed, family. If there's anything I can do for you guys ever, y'all know where to find me. Reach out to me, utilize me, leverage me. I was telling my mentors this yesterday. Yo, if I had somebody that had the results that I wanted, and I had access to them every single day, I was blowing their phone up. Every single day, I was asking them questions as to if they were going live. I was hopping on their lives. If, there wasn't a question about anything in regards to me hopping on and being a student and learning and expanding my knowledge and, just picking this individual's brain, because it's simply just altering my way of thinking. My mentor told me, and I'm going to leave you guys off with this: the moment that you change the way you look at things is the moment that the things you look at will also change. So start changing your thoughts and everything else will change. And I immediately understood that, if it's to be, it's for me. Right? Nobody's going to come out here and nobody's going to save you. Nobody's going to come out here and nobody's going to put in the work for you. It's all for you, and if you want it, it's for you. It's yours for the taking. So just like y'all, consumer law, these debts on your consumer reports, is yours for the taking. There may be a point where you do have to go through and put on your big boy or your big girl pants and go through arbitration. If they don't have an arbitration agreement through ADR.org, you'll have to take them through litigation and through the court system. Well, what I want you to understand is that within each one of these letters, we're not demanding this, and we're not telling them this. We're requesting information. We're requesting these things, and if they're not provided for us, and these are things that are, required by law, then now this is further building our evidence and our story to where when we do get into these courtrooms, we've already won in court because court starts through the mail, right? So these letters that you guys are sending out, court has started. Right, court has begun. Court is here. Court is now. Request. Don't just demand. Don't try to sound like the smartest person, just to make your letters look good. It's not about throwing in a million different laws and codes, but what's your story? What are the damages that were done? All right, for me. Peace and love. Too many bars.